Alright, so we are back in the garage. I got the truck back from RPM. They got my exhaust all dialed in, switched out to Borla's, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, gonna be leaving in a week from today for Johnson Valley, so I'm just doing some prep and putting some new parts on. I got this. Hopefully it fits. As of right now, I do not have space, so it's too small to be in the dash, and there's not enough space on top of the dash to put it, so and there's not enough center console to put it there either. So we'll see. I ordered some mounts. We'll see how they work. If they don't work, I'm gonna put this up for sale. I got a TCI deeper trans pan for my Turbo 400. I'm already running their converter, so I figured I might as well run their pan. So the pan comes with a high flow race filter. Here's the pan. Pretty nice. And then it comes with gasket, of course, and then a bunch of hardware and an extended tube for the deeper pan. So right now I'm dealing with my stock pan is all bent and warped from years of putting it on and off from me and other people. I usually hammer it out, get it all flat, but I just hate dealing with that. So this is actually it was like 200 bucks. It's not terrible, and it's all machined little edge around it, so this will never bend or warp. So this will be more ideal for sealing. So I already got the trans fluid drained, so I'm gonna take out all the bolts and get the old pan dropped, and then we'll start switching in the filter and all the other stuff. Alright, so we're taking a look at the stock pan. The stock pan looks like I tightened it at some point up here too. It's just kind of blown out on those corners. Same with this corner. So this pan was used, it was a used trans when I bought it. So whoever had it before me, all the years of it being used, these things really warp on the edge. So you can see, normally I turn this over and take a hammer, like I can feel that one's raised up there, so is that one. So these things suck, they're a pain in the ass, so having a nice machined edge is going to be much easier to deal with. So but looking at the fluid, there's not a whole bunch of silver in here. There's a little piece of dirt that I just flaked in there. There's like almost no metal near the magnet. So I'm gonna say the trans is hopefully still good. I don't see anything in it, but if anyone wants the trans pan, let me know. Turbo 400. So here's what I'm talking about. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad still. So you could hammer this out, but why do that when you spend 200 bucks and get a machined edge, so this just, I don't have to deal with this anymore. Here's a pretty cool comparison, the stock pan versus the new pan. So the new deep pan actually fits 2 extra quarts, so the more fluid the better. And you can see how nice this edge is compared to that, so that's going to be much nicer. So this is an extended tube that came with it because it's a deeper pan. So there's a C stamped at the top, and that's going to actually go into the transmission. And there's also 2 O-rings that will go into the transmission side. And then of course this side has its own little grommet. And then came with a little spacer that you put in between here and there. And then you just put the bolt in it, holds it all together. But this is just about finished up. We'll put the new pan on. Is on now and pretty much buttoned up. Just got to torque the pan down, but one thing I did want to show you guys is I had to pull the cable off, so I always just like to make sure that the shifter is throwing all the way into the gear. So easy way to do this is to unclip the shifter, and we're gonna put it, manually shift the trans, it's park, all the way forward to park. So then we'll go up, shift the truck into park, and then come down here and make sure that that clips into there nicely. That's park. So now we'll come here and make sure that this lines up, which it does. So basically you're going to do that all the way through. Unclip it, go up there, put it in reverse, and then this cable is going to shift itself down, and then you're going to come back in and make sure it clips in. So then you're going to come back in the truck and then shift it into reverse. That one's in reverse. Then you're going to come back under the truck and do the same thing again. So all the way forwards park, next one down is going to be reverse. Come in here, make sure it clips in, and it does. So we know that that is correctly working. So basically you're going to continue going all the way down through the gears, and then I always like to go all the way back up through the gears and make sure it clips in good. So, and then if it doesn't, you undo this nut, and then you just spin this thing back or forward, whatever way you gotta do it, and it's pretty simple. So the trans just need to once again torque all the bolts, and I like to throw some RTV on here because you can't really put Loctite on it, so RTV is easy to come off. So I just RTV across there, and then that nut will not back off, and then that will not pop off, and then you won't be able to shift, which I've done that before, and it's not the funnest thing to do. And then I always put RTV on that little nut as well, just because you can't put Loctite on small shit like that. So pretty much finished for this, and next we will move on to the GPS. Alright, so it is currently Christmas Eve morning, so 4 more days till we leave, still waiting on parts. Until then, I'm going to continue making this rear mount for the GPS. Going to get this thing cut out, and then I will start bending it, made marks where it needs to be bent. Should be able to bend that. So I'll put this up and you guys can watch. So after all that, trying to make this, getting it all ready, I realized I can just cut the plastic one down. So that literally took like 2 minutes. So that's pretty much done. Still waiting on the correct mount to come in. So I'm gonna continue working on getting the new cooler put in there. That's the old one. This is the new one. So I gotta go get fluid, some more swept coat, and some fittings, and then I can install this. So there's the old cooler. These things are pretty cheap. You actually get them on Summit Racing or Amazon. This is the larger one. It worked, but it really didn't. So maybe you guys had better luck, but I just didn't. So here's the hoses. I blew them out, got them all cleaned up, ready for install when the fittings come in. So this is going to be the replacement cooler. This is from Griffin Radiators. This thing's only $200. Pretty good deal. So it's got 1/2 inch NPT fittings. So we're going to be going from 1/2 to -8 because that's what the return side takes on the box. So I'm going to set this aside and then put it together. So draining the coolant now. I got these 2 fittings here that leak, so I'm gonna drain the coolant and then throw some thread sealant on there. Stuff works pretty good. While that's draining, I'm gonna blow off my air cleaner, because this thing is pretty dirty. I usually blow this thing out. It's paper filter, I usually blow it out like every trip, so having clean air into the motor is always ideal. So I'm gonna blow it off now. Normally I would pull this pre-filter off, but it's a pain in the ass to get on and off. It took me like 30 minutes to get it on here, so just gonna do it the wrong way and blow through the filter through the pre-screen. I know it's not ideal, but that's a lot better than dealing with trying to get the pre-filter off. So here are the 2 fittings that were leaking. They had regular Teflon tape on it and just really didn't work. So I'm gonna put this stuff on it instead and see how long it lasts. So we are 1 day till JV. Last night I got home really late, so I just got shit done, but started filling the radiator. I use 1/2 gallon of this stuff and then the rest distilled water. I've always had good luck with that. We've ran that in race cars, had good luck with that, so that's what I do and it works. Got the new steering cooler all dialed in and buttoned up. Still got a zip tie the hoses, but it is done. I started filling that up. Got some trans fluid as well, so I gotta fill up the trans, and then I'm gonna run this thing on stands, let it warm up, and then check fluids again, and then if everything is good, I'm gonna go drive it. So I'm gonna put this up and I'm gonna continue doing this because I don't got a lot of time. Today's the day. We are going to the desert. Got the whole gang. Clark is over there with his twin turbo everything. And they got us. Sounds too clickbaity. I don't really like that. You just finished watching part 1 of a 3-part video series that I'll be dropping on YouTube. This video was all about getting the truck ready for the desert. The next one will be driving in the desert, and then the third video will be bringing the truck back, looking over the truck, making sure it's ready for the next desert trip. So the idea behind these 3 videos is basically going to help you guys drive your truck harder in the desert, make it last longer, just give you some knowledge on what it takes to make these things last. There's a lot of moving parts. It's not easy to keep them together in the desert. So if you found this video useful or helpful, or you want to stay up to date on things that I am doing with the truck, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you give videos a thumbs up. All those things help me make more videos. When I see that you guys like them, when I see you guys are following along, that gives me more motivation to get in the garage and film stuff. So I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.